Okay, so good day. I'll be discussing the continuation of our lecture earlier this afternoon. And, para matapos na natin yung topic 1. Okay? So let's start. Continuation of the financial system. So actually we have 7 elements of financial system. So first, of course, we have the lenders and borrowers. So lenders, malamang sila yung may excess funds na gustong magpautang sa mga borrowers who are also willing to pay the required return and obtain additional funds. So for example nga, gusto kong kailangan kong mangutang kasi ah meron akong paggagastusan or siguro I want to put up my own business, for example. So, kinulang ko ng kapital, so uutang ako ngayon. So, I am a borrower. Okay? Next one would be financial intermediaries. So, these are special type of financial entity that acts as a third party to facilitate the borrowing activity between lenders and borrowers. So, oftentimes, they gather funds from lenders and redistribute to borrowers through an investment vehicle like loans. So, parang sila yung middlemen. How will the exchange occur? Ayan. Um, so, in most cases daw kasi, the potential borrowers do not have an idea which parties or entities are willing to lend out money to them and vice versa. So, through financial intermediaries, madali na lang para makahanap ng pwedeng pautangan or pwedeng utangan at pwedeng pautangan. Pautangan? O kung sino ang pwedeng bigyan ng utang, parang gano'n. So, ayun, sila yung nagbe-bridge nung gap na yun, okay? So, they gather funds from lenders and redistribute it to borrowers through an investment vehicle like loans. Potential lenders and borrowers then just need to visit a financial intermediary to participate in the financial transaction. So, example dito for yung Pag-ibig Fund. So kami na nagwo-work, meron kaming monthly contribution and for instance, meron isang si Aling Nena ganyan, gusto niyang umutang sa Pag-ibig Fund, meron po 'no, mag-apply siya ng loan dun sa Pag-ibig Fund. Okay? So, next one would be financial instruments. So, what will be used? So, this is the medium of exchange of contractual obligation of a party, and they can be tangible and intangible. So, we have two types, cash and financial derivative financial instruments. Cash and financial derivative financial instruments. So, uh, for cash financial instruments, these are exchanged in the money market. Yung sa derivative naman, traded dun sa mga capital markets. So, usually mga stocks, gano'n. Okay? Next one. Um, Yun. Okay. Suppliers and buyers of financial instruments meet. So, ito na yung marketplace, parang gano'n. Dito na nagmi-meet si suppliers and buyers. So, there are two types. We have the money market, ayan, nabanggit natin, money market, financial instruments, and capital market, derivative financial instruments. Yun. And number 5, we have the regulatory, uh, regulatory environment. So, of course, we have this inherent risk in every business operation. So, when you say inherent risk, ito yung, ah, ito yung risk na meron before ka gumawa ng isang hakbang para ma-mitigate. Okay? Yun. So, ayun, parang yun yung kabuuan ng risk before ka gumawa ng paraan para ma-lessen yun. Yun yung inherent risk. Moreover, for financial system, since it involves different businesses and financial risks, the government should intervene in the system. We have this regulatory environment. When you say regulatory, tandaan ninyo, it always pertains to the law. Ayan, law, rules and regulations. Ayan, regulatory environment lagi yan. Pag regulatory laws, ayan. It is the governance body to ensure that the transactions that occur within the financial systems complies with the laws and regulations imposed to the actors, as well as the elements and plays within the system. So example dito si Central Bank, Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So kumbaga siya ang nag-regulate ng lahat ng transaction sa lahat ng bangko, sa lahat ng financial markets. Ayan. Siya ang yun, nag-i-impose ng rules, parang ganon. So this is the governance body to ensure that the transaction occur within the financial system complies with the laws and regulations imposed to the actors as the elements that place within the system. Ayun. Okay? So, next one is 6, money creation. What is the value it creates? So, syempre, with the flow of financial instruments, since nagkakaroon ng, syempre, kapag uutang, merong interest na kailangan ding bayaran, lumalaki. So, money is created. Money is used to either be reinvested or earned out from the system flows. Okay, again, money can be reinvested or earned out from system flows. In economics, the money as it was given value out of the financial transactions because of the exchange that occurred in the system may be converted into another form. So, ang money daw, it can, valuable pa rin siya kahit na anong klaseng form nung pera kasi may value yung money. Pwedeng, like for example, si 20 peso bill na anong tawag dun sa sinasabi ninyo? Yun, 20 peso bill na paper bill, same din lang yung value niya kahit na nasa GCash siya, 20 pesos din siya, 'di ba? So, merong value na na-create tuwing nagkakaroon ng transactions within the markets. And of course, price discovery, how much is created. So, as the financial systems continuously flows and operates, the financial instruments create value. Yun nga, price discovery is the process of determining or valuing the financial instrument in the market. The price is normally driven by the level of risk on how the issuer of the financial instruments. Level of risk on how the issuer of the financial instruments. So, sabi dito, ang presyo daw ng isang financial instrument ay nakadepende doon sa risk na involved. Alam naman natin yan na the higher the risk, the higher the return, something like that. Or, for example, kapag nag-invest ka sa mga short-term bonds, kukonti lang din yung magiging value niya pag nag-mature, parang ganun. Kung hindi ko alam kung tama ang aking mga words dahil medyo um technical ang term. Pero, yun. Ang ano lang dyan, in layman's term, kung maikli lang yung utang or yung bonds mo, let's say for example, 1 year lang yan, syempre yung interest ay 1 year lang. Pero kung long term, let's say 10 years, ipapatulog mo yun hanggang sa lumaki ng lumaki, mas malaki din yung value. But of course, saan yung risk? Mas risky yung long term. Kasi what if may nangyari in between, right? May mangyari in between like bumaba yung values nung value ng or nagkaroon ng problema sa economy at bababa yung value nun. So, mas malaking risk kasi syempre hindi mo siya makukuha in just a couple of months or years. Kasi nga long term siya. But then again, since mas matagal siya, mas lalaki yung value niya. So sabi nga dito ay the price is normally driven by the level of risk on how the issuer of the financial instruments. Ay, hindi ko alam bakit parang bitin tong grammar nila. Anyway, the financial markets, again, ayan. Financial market refers to channels or places where funds and financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, and other securities are exchanged between willing individuals or entities. Ayan, kumbaga ito nga yung palengke ng mga stocks and bonds. Saan pwedeng magkaroon ng exchange between the buyer and the seller. Ganon. It intends to establish a consistent, efficient, and cost-effective bridge between fund providers and fund demanders. Siyempre, again, yung mga fund providers, sila yung mga nagpapautang, yan, mga nagpapautang, and fund demanders, yun yung mga umuutang. Ganon. Okay? Ito yung mga may excess, lenders, borrowers. They serve as a channel to transfer excess funds from fund providers to fund demanders. So, in short, we call it trading, wherein there is an exchange of financial instruments. Yan. Yan yung bottom line. So, okay. The main economic function of the financial market is to serve as a channel to transfer excess from funds from fund providers to fund demanders. As a result, financial markets become the mechanism that bridges surplus and deficit economic units through providing ways to fund deficit units directly or indirectly via financial intermediaries. And also, they provide additional options to lenders and borrowers on which form they want their transactions to be in. So, ang financial market daw nagbibigay ng additional options daw sa mga lender or borrower kung paano daw yung form ng transaction. So, dito ang sabi dito na example, fund providers may deposit funds in banks, buy primary or secondary securities, or lessen their debt through purchasing existing securities. So, ganun daw ang option kay fund providers. Okay? So, ito yung may excess, pwedeng sa bangko siya, or pwedeng bibili siya ng secondary or primary security, or bibili din ng existing securities. On the other hand, para sa mga borrowers, they may issue new securities or sell currently owned financial instruments in the financial market to obtain funds. So, for example nga, meron silang pinanghahawakan na financial instrument, pwede rin nilang ibenta yon para para kumita sila or maging liquid sila. For example, kasi nga makukuha nila muna ah yung amount, yung value na yon, let's say after 5 years, let's say, kailangan na niya ng money right away, di siya liquid. So, kailangan niyang ibenta yun dun sa financial market para mas mabilis, no? Ayun, yun yung mga options daw. So, the existing of a functioning financial market allows market participants to avail different options that suit their needs. Yun. So, exchanging of financial instruments is also more commonly known as trading. Yun nga yung binanggit natin kanina. And examples of these would be Philippine Stock Exchange or PSE. Now, we have three major economic functions of the financial market, which are price discovery, liquidity, and reduced transaction cost. So, ito daw yung economic function. Ito daw yung naitutulong ni financial market sa ating economy. So, first would be price discovery. So, again, it refers to the interaction between buyers and sellers in the financial market in order to come up with the price of the traded financial instrument. So, the price is set at the level wherein the buyers are willing to buy and sellers are willing to sell. The agreement between the two parties is important in determining the price of the financial instrument. Usually, the providers of fund in the financial market determines the required return for a financial instrument. This is the minimum rate of return that they are willing to accept to purchase a financial instrument. This function of the financial market determines how the available funds from the fund providers are allocated towards the fund demanders based on the fund demanders' willingness to accept the return required by the fund providers. Yun. So, kumbaga mas nagiging clear yung transaction between the two, no? Kasi mas nagiging, yun nga, nagiging transparent. There should be an agreement between the two parties para ma-determine daw yung price ng financial instrument. Okay? Ayan. So, pwede silang mag-negotiate. Parang ganon. Next one, liquidity. So, liquidity, yan ang sinabi nyo sa akin kanina, dapat merong cash na pwedeng i-dispose. Hindi ka liquid kung wala kang cash in hand, right? So, liquidity, the second function of the financial market is liquidity. Financial markets serve as a forum where buyers and sellers can meet to facilitate transactions. So, as a result, holders can sell their own financial instruments to other investors to earn cash. Easy access to a venue where investors can sell financial instruments for cash is an appealing feature when circumstances may occur that push investors to sell a financial instrument. This reality offers liquidity to the investors. So, yun nga, kagaya ng example ko kanina, so let's say for example, meron akong bond dito na inihintay ko siyang mag-mature, pero medyo gipit ako sa cash. So, pwede ko na lang ibenta yon sa iba. At least, meron na kaagad akong pera na para maging liquid ako. Parang ganon. Okay? Without liquidity, an investor is forced to hold to financial instrument up until such time that conditions in the agreement happen that will permit the disposal of the instrument or conversion. Example, the conversion, or the issuer is contractually obligated to pay for the instrument. Yun nga, ah, kapag walang liquidity, pag hindi, let's say for example, walang financial market, paano niya yun maibebenta? Kailangan na nga niya ng cash. Kung gano'n na hindi niya maibebenta, natutulog pa lang doon or wala siyang mapagagamitan para sa urgent purposes yun. Yun. So, for debt instruments, this pertains to the maturity date. For equity instruments, this refer to the voluntary or involuntary liquidation. All types of financial markets offer different degrees of liquidity. And of course, reduction in transaction costs. Reduction in transaction costs is the last function of a financial market. Transaction costs are the costs incurred of parties transaction to trade a financial instrument. Ito daw yung, alam niyo na yan, ito yung cost na nai-incur sa pagtitrade ng isang financial instrument. So, we have two types, the search costs and information costs. So, for the search cost, we have the explicit and implicit. So, explicit costs are the expenses para may i-advertise yung intent mo to purchase or to sell a financial instrument. Kumbaga, marketing, parang ganon. Yun yung explicit cost. Siyempre, paano malalaman ng ibang buyers or ibang entity na meron kang intention na bumili or magbenta, 'di ba? Kung hindi mo yun i-advertise or i-announce. So, yung cost na na-incur doon ay under ng explicit. Whereas for the implicit cost, yun yung mga search cost, which includes time. Okay? Time consumed to look for a counterparty for the transaction. So, in short, kumbaga itong explicit cost in terms of pera sa pag-advertise or sa sasabi ng inyong intention. Ayan. For the implicit, it is about time, the time consumed, no, to look for a buyer or somebody who, buyer or a seller that would meet what you want or meet your demands. Okay? Next one. Another one, so yun yung explicit and implicit, that's under search cost. So ano naman yung information cost? So information costs are related in evaluating investment characteristics of a financial instrument. So of course, kung ikaw gusto mong mag-invest, you want to know more about the information. You need to gather more information about the profitability, liquidity, stability, and market value of a financial instrument to justify worthiness of the investment. For example, let's say, wag na nating isipin about the financial instrument. Kunwari, bibili kayo ng isang device, let's say a laptop, right? So, bilang consumer, 'di ba, maghahanap kayo ng alternative, ano kayang brand, pupunta-punta kayo sa iba't ibang shops, pwedeng Apple, pwedeng Acer, I do not know. And then you will compare prices and then try to find the specifications of the laptop that you like para ma-justify, bakit ito worth ganito, ito worth ganyan, sino yung mas maganda. So yung ganun na yun yung ganong cost na na-incur mo sa paghahanap or pagkakalap ng information, that is under information cost. As for the financial instruments, of course, you have to know the profitability. Ito ba, kung bibilin ko tong financial instrument ba na ito, stable ba to? Ilan ba yung kikita? Magkano kaya magiging value nito after 10 years? Or paano yung liquidity nito? Madali lang ba itong ibenta? Ayan. Yung type ba nito, stable ba or fluctuating? So, yung mga yon, that is under information cost. Okay, next one. Types of financial markets. So, we have money market and capital market. Financial markets may be classified according to the type of financial instruments it traded, whether the instrument is a short-term security or long-term. Short-term securities are normally traded in money market, while long-term securities were classified under capital market. So, tandaan, short-term securities under ng money market. Kapag long term, dun tayo sa capital market. So, short term, long term. Okay? So, money market, ayan. So, sector of the financial system where financial instruments that will mature or be redeemed in 1 year or less from issuance date are traded. Again, that is under money market. Okay, but of course, long-term investors also need the money market as they tend to invest in this market to meet their short-term liquidity needs. So, hindi lang ito oo, short-term funds, pero syempre yung mga long-term investors, kailangan din niyang pumunta sa money market just in case na hindi na siya liquid. Or let's say, kailangan niya ng cash for emergency purposes. Ayan, pupunta na lang siya sa money market. For the capital markets, ito yung mga long term, where financial instruments issued by government and corporations that will mature beyond 1 year from issuance date are traded. Dealer and brokers market create a venue for bond and stock transactions. Bonds and stocks pala dito. Okay? Ayun. So we have classifications of market securities. Okay. So, let's say, ito muna. Capital market is the sector, ayun nga, for long-term. Long-term financial instruments encompass financial instruments that have maturity dates longer than 1 year and perpetual securities with no maturity. The foundation of the capital market is made up by the dealers and brokers, which creates a venue for bond and stock transactions. So, we have two classifications, the equity and debt. Ayan na. Equity, which represents ownership, and debt, syempre si utang. No? Capital markets are expected to be a liquid market where fund demanders can interact with potential investors to acquire external financing resources. So investors believe that capital markets should be an efficient market to ensure that available funds are allocated to its productive use. So now we have also category of a financial market as to the market type. Ayan. We have the primary market and secondary market. Ano yung primary market? It's a type of financial market wherein fund demanders such as corporations or government agency raise funds through new issuances of financial instruments. For example, bonds and stocks. And we have 4 types of issue methods. Okay? No kaya yun? 4 types of issue methods. We have the public offering. So, ano nga ba yung public offering? This occurs when securities are offered for sale to the general public. Offering to the general public is done through issuing a prospectus or placing document which contains an offer to the general public to subscribe or purchase securities at a stated price. Private companies who will sell shares to the general public for the very first time is said to undergo an initial public offering or IPO. IPOs are usually done through the help of investment banks. So ito, of course, public offering, it's open to the general public. Kahit ikaw, pwede kang mag-invest, pwede kang bumili. Okay? Now, what about the private placement or limited public offer? So, this occurs when the issuer looks for a single investor, an institutional buyer or group of buyers to purchase the whole securities issuance instead of offering it to the general public. Traditionally, securities sold through private placements tend to be illiquid and are not easily converted into cash because of the very limited parties it was sold to. As a result, it is common that only established financial institutions or firms are able to buy and hold on to them. So, ito daw, merong specific na investor, yung single investor or buyer or group of buyers instead of offering it to the general public. However, it's sabi dito, securities sold through private placements tend to be illiquid. So, illiquid, ito pala yung sinasabi natin na kabaliktaran pag tika-liquid, pag walang cash, and are not easily converted into cash because of the limited parties it was sold to. So, yun, hindi masyadong madaling, i-convert sa cash daw yun. Okay. Next one, auction. Another way, auction, we have different types, Dutch, English, descending. Auction is another way to offer securities to the general public is through an auction process. Auction is actually used for issuance of treasury bills, bonds, and other securities issued by the government and are commonly executed exclusively with market makers. So auction can be done Dutch, English, and descending. Dutch, type of auction where seller begins the sale at high price. Okay. High price daw muna. Then the price of the security is continuously lowered down at specific intervals until the potential buyer agrees to purchase at that price. So, i-offer daw muna sa mataas, pag walang bibili, bababaan hanggang sa merong bumili. Sa English naman, prospective buyers commence the auction by submitting an initial bid price. Other buyers interested to purchase the security submit a new bid to top to the previous one. So, ito yung, ako muna magbibid, 1,000 pesos. Tapos, yung kaklase, yung katabi ko, ako bibilin ko yan ng 1,500. Hanggang sa, kung sino yung pinakamataas na magbibid, yun yung makakakuha nung security. That is English auction. The bidding stops when no other bidders want to top the last bid. Highest bid price. Yung parang yun yung highest bidder wins. Parang ganon. Okay? Next one. Descending price, sealed auction, or first price sealed auction. It's a type of auction where bidders submit sealed bids to the sellers. The sealed bids are ranked from highest to lowest price. The number of securities is allocated first to highest priced bid and follows a descending order. Ito naman, wow, naka-seal daw yung auction. No, hindi malalaman ng ibang bidders. So, kung sino yung pinakamataas, highest priced bids receive full allocation, while lower bids receive allocations distributed pro rata. Next one is tap issue. This method occurs when issuers are open to receive bids for their securities at all times. Issuers maintain the right to accept or reject the bid prices based on how much fund they need and when they need the fund and what is their outlook in the market. Ayan daw yung top issue. Now, next one is secondary market. Malayo pa pala. Okay. Market wherein the securities issued in primary market are subsequently traded or resold or repurchased. Secondary parang second hand. Ayan, second hand na hindi brand new. Ayan, yun lang yun. Buyers include households, ayan, who have excess funds while sellers are poor in need of funds. Price discovery, liquidity, support to the primary market, and implementation of monetary policy. So we have, again, classification of secondary market based on market structure. Okay, saan na ba yun? Ayun. So, number 1, order-driven, aka auction. Ala, mali ata ito. Okay, anyway, i-ano ko na lang, double check ko. So, types, market orders, limit orders, day orders, good until canceled orders, quote-driven, primary dealer markets, professional markets. And spread is the difference between the bid and the quote. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay, anyway. So, next one. Classification of primary and secondary market based on where the financial instruments are traded. Okay, we have exchange or formalized. Okay, exchanges are centralized trading locations where financial instruments are purchased or sold between market participants. So in order to be traded, all financial instruments should be listed by the organized exchange. All financial instruments should comply with the regulations set forth by the exchange prior to being listed. So ito nga, yung exchange formal, example would be the PSE, Philippine Stock Exchange. Ito naman, si over-the-counter, place where unlisted financial instruments are allowed to be traded. Example dyan, yung mga bonds, loans, and foreign exchange, spot money, or unlisted, hence traded in OTC market. Ano ba yung spot money? Spot money, parang pag sa Cebuana Luwilier, o di kaya, naka-receive ka ng, naka-receive ka ng remittance, naka-dollar siya, ipapalit mo siya sa Cebuana, spot money yun. No? I-exchange mo sa Philippine peso. Okay? Based on country's perspective, so we have the internal or national and external. So internal refers to the financial market operating in a certain country. So we have the domestic and foreign market. So domestic refers to the market where issuers are considered residents in a country issue the securities and where these securities are traded afterwards. So bottom line, issuers are considered residents of the country. Sa foreign market, issuers are not residents of the country and can sell or issue securities and subsequently traded. Ganun lang yon. So, internal or domestic and foreign. Domestic, ang issuer ay taga-Pilipinas or residente ng Pilipinas. Sa foreign market, ang issuer ay hindi taga-Pilipinas. Yan yung basic niya. External market refers to the financial market where securities that have two unique characteristics are being traded. Ano yung two characteristics? Una, securities are offered simultaneously to investors in different countries. And second, securities are issued outside the regulatory jurisdiction of any single country. In short, itong mga securities na to, kumbaga, sabay-sabay daw na ino-offer sa mga investors na nasa ibang countries upon issuance, nasa ibang bansa upon issuance. Pangalawa, outside. So, ini-issue yon outside ng Philippines or regulatory jurisdiction of the country. Kumbaga, naganap, yung securities ay in-issue sa labas ng Philippines. Ganon, yun yung external market. So we have, again, based on manner of financial intermediaries, broker, the buyer and the seller of the securities are brought together by a broker, and the trade occurs at the point. Dealer, the buyer and seller are not brought directly together by a third party. Instead, market makers or dealers who create market by offering to sell buy securities stated as bid prices respectively, execute the sell or buy orders. So again, yung broker, merong ano, syempre parang third party. Securities are brought together by a broker and trade occurs at that point. For the dealer, ayan. Execute the sell. Okay, in a dealer market, there are two distinct trades that occur. The seller sells his security to a dealer and buyer buys his security from a dealer. Can be the same dealer of seller A. Kumbaga, sa mga commodities, 'di ba? For example, sa mga kotse, mayroong mga car dealer dito na, kunwari XYZ sa Dagupan. Tapos, bumili siya ng kotse from the manufacturer kay Toyota. So, official or car dealer siya ni Toyota. Tapos, tayo na consumer, bibili kay XYZ dealer ni Toyota. Ganun lang yung dealer market. So, hindi siya actually third party. Kasi, ah, ano yun? Kumbaga, binenta ni seller yung security dun sa dealer. Eh sa broker, siya lang yung nag-meet, tas siguro magkakaroon siya lang, hindi niya binili talaga yung security. No, malamang meron siyang porsyento din siguro dahil siya yung naging middleman or hindi na middleman, siya yung naging third party para mag-meet si buyer and seller. Pero hindi niya binili yung security. Sa dealer, binili niya yung security from the seller, si dealer. Okay? Ayan. So, that's it for our topic. Ayun. So, hopefully naintindihan. Sinimplify na lang natin, no? Para madali. And, yep, reporting will start on Wednesday. Okay? See you tomorrow.